Hey guys, welcome to StudyIQ. My name is Prashant Dhawan and in this video we are going to talk about the Karnataka Flag Issue. So by the end of this video you will be able to answer all these questions. Why Karnataka wants its own flag, what is the reason behind it, what is the rationale behind it, we will discuss in depth. Can it actually happen? Can Karnataka actually have its own flag? What does the Constitution of India have to say about that? So we will discuss that as well. And finally, we will also discuss a very important question that concerns all of us. Will this decision by the Karnataka government, will it impact the unity of our country? And if yes, then how will it impact the unity of the country? So all these questions are quite important. Let's start discussing them. I think it will be wise of us to just understand what exactly is the issue here, why everyone is so concerned about this topic. Well, look, just have a look at this flag. This is called the Kannada flag. It's a beautiful flag. And in Karnataka, the people love this flag. They love it so much that they often call it the unofficial flag of Karnataka because it is hoisted pretty much at every government function or gathering, and people like to hoist this flag in their colonies or shops as well. Now, if you know a thing or two about India, you probably know that the state of Jammu Kashmir is the only state in India which is allowed to have a state flag under Article 370. But since Karnataka is not under Article 370, why does Karnataka need a flag to begin with? What's the need behind it? We will discuss that, but for the time being, just understand this. This flag is very important for the people of Karnataka. Now, recently, some activists, they requested the government of Karnataka, headed by Siddaramaiah ji, who is the Chief Minister of Karnataka, to make this unofficial flag of Karnataka the official flag of Karnataka. That means they want Karnataka to be the first state in India after the state of Jammu and Kashmir, which is pretty much an exception, to be the first state in India to have a state flag. This is a big thing. Now, I have told you earlier that this Kannada flag is, for the time being, it is the unofficial flag. It is not the official flag, but if you actually go to the website of Government of Karnataka, you will find this flag on the homepage over there, which is quite interesting. Now, in order to understand this issue further, we need to know the history behind this flag and why is it so dear to the people of Karnataka. Now, I don't want any of you to think that since this Kannada flag issue is in the news so much, this flag probably came into existence a few months or a few years ago. No, this flag has been in existence for a very long time now. In 1960s, Ramamurthy ji, who was a Bangalore-based writer, journalist and social activist, he came up with the concept of a flag for Karnataka. Well, initially this flag was used as a symbol for his political party Kannada Paksha, which disintegrated after a few days or a few weeks. It didn't really last for a very long time. So even after the party disintegrated and his political career was pretty much over, somehow the people of Karnataka developed a deep affection for this beautiful flag. Now, of course, there are some other reasons as well, because around the 1960s, a lot of migrants from Tamil Nadu, they used to hoist their own flag in Karnataka, and in order to respond to them, the people of Karnataka, they accepted this flag as the flag of Karnataka and they started hoisting it. And since then, this flag has become a very integral part of the culture of Karnataka. You will see this flag in a lot of places in Karnataka, whether some party has won an election or whether sentiments are brewing up in Karnataka because of the Kaveri water dispute with Tamil Nadu or some other dispute they have with some other state. Every time the people of Karnataka want to come together for a certain cause that has to do with Karnataka, of course, you will see this flag everywhere. So much so that this flag is hoisted everywhere in Karnataka, especially on the 1st of November. Now, this is quite important for your examinations. The 1st of November is the Rajyotsav day in Karnataka. Make sure you remember this. So, this is the state day of Karnataka. So, of course, on their state day, they hoist this flag all over Karnataka. So now we can understand that how important this flag is for the people of Karnataka. Now, other than this, I would also like to tell you a few other interesting facts. Karnataka has its state anthem too, and unlike the flag, it is official. Yes, Karnataka has its own official state anthem. and it's this one over here. I'm not going to pronounce this because I don't want to mispronounce any word and disrespect this state anthem. So this state anthem was initially a Kannada poem by Kuvempuji, and later on 6 January 2004, this poem was declared the official state anthem of the state of Karnataka. Now, of course, since we are talking about the state anthem of Karnataka, I think it will be fair to also tell you guys that there are other states in India that have state anthems too, like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Assam. Assam's state anthem is quite old. Odisha's state anthem is very, very old. It became Odisha's state anthem is Bande Utkala Janani, and it became Odisha's state anthem on the 1st of April 1936, way before India even started its journey as an independent country. So what do you have to say about that? We can't really pinpoint at Karnataka that, hey, why do you have a state anthem? Pretty much a lot of states have their own state anthem, and even Gujarat has a state anthem, although it is pretty much a de facto state anthem. Now the reason why I'm giving you guys all this information is because we need to have a very broad-minded view when we are going to talk about the flag issue of Karnataka, because we need to understand that India is a diverse country. Every state has its own history, its own culture, its own traditions, and we need to respect that. So just keep that in mind. Alright, now let's move further. Now coming back to the Kannada flag, over the years the flag has been adopted by pro-Kannada activists as a symbol of Kannadiga pride. So as I told you earlier, this flag has been around for a very long time now, and whenever there's a dispute where Karnataka is involved, now first of all, Karnataka as a state is fighting legal cases with all of its neighbors over sharing water from various rivers. Apart from the legal battle with Tamil Nadu over the Kaveri water dispute, I'm sure pretty much a lot of you guys know about this. We at StudyIQ have made a lot of videos on the Kaveri water issue as well. The state is also locked in similar battles over the Krishna, Godavari and Mahanadi rivers. There is also a long-standing dispute over Belgavi district. Now, this district is claimed by both Maharashtra and Karnataka. So, this district has some population that is Marathi speaking and some population that is basically Kannada speaking. Now, interestingly, one of the petitions submitted in 2014 for having an official flag comes from Belgavi district. What happened was, an RTI activist said the reason for such a demand for having an official flag for Karnataka, the reason for such a demand was because some people in the district felt that there was a need to assert that the region belonged to Karnataka. Now, if you think about it from a broader perspective, it does sound logical. The rationale behind having an official flag to mark your own territory near a disputed area, it sounds rational, it sounds feasible. One can pretty much understand that. Of course, I'm not supporting it, but it does sound somewhat logical. However, when Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji strongly started backing the idea of Kannada flag, eyebrows were raised. You see, the Congress government in Karnataka has set up a 9-member panel that will explore how the state can legally have its own separate flag, and the whole committee will also suggest a design, although it will pretty much be the same flag that I showed you in slide 1, but they are still going to talk about the ratio and the color as well. So anyway, this is happening. Now people are questioning the intention of the Congress government in Karnataka because, as you probably know, because elections are nearing in Karnataka, there will be elections in Karnataka around March or April. So a lot of people are looking at this move by the Congress government in Karnataka as an election gimmick. So questions are being raised that whether this decision by the Congress government has this decision taken because they care about the sentiments of the people of Karnataka, or they are very concerned about the dispute Karnataka has with Maharashtra, or whether it is just to win some votes in the upcoming election. Because if that is the case, then the Congress government in Karnataka is setting up a very bad example for the rest of the states in India. Because the next time whenever there will be a state election, because then the ruling party might actually take a decision that is not exactly in the best interest of the nation, but it just gives them some extra mileage for the election, which sets up a very bad example. This is pretty much the main cause of concern, because as I told you earlier, so far only the state of Jammu Kashmir has its special status under the Article 370 of the Constitution, and is the only state in India that is permitted to own its flag. Although I must add that Karnataka is not the only state that has a quote-unquote unofficial flag. You see, when the Gorkhaland protests were erupting all over Darjeeling, people used their own version of an unofficial flag, although it wasn't exactly as old as Karnataka's flag, but they used this flag to show their unity for the cause of a separate state of Gorkhaland. Now, you can pretty much understand that flags matter a lot. And eventually, since Karnataka wants its own state flag, it's only a matter of time before states like Punjab or Maharashtra, or states that haven't even born yet, Gorkhaland, suppose if Gorkhaland comes into existence later on, they might want that flag of theirs, the unofficial flag, to be their state flag as well. So now the question is, does this undermine the importance of the tricolor? We shall discuss that. Now let's have a look at the arguments against the decision to have state flags in India. Now notice that I am not saying that we shall have a look at the arguments against the decision to have a state flag in Karnataka, because I don't think any Indian would want the people of Karnataka to not be proud of their rich heritage, of their culture, of their unofficial flag. I don't think there is any rule in India that is against having an unofficial flag. But when you're talking about having official state flags, then you are entering into an uncharted territory. Let me explain why. Now let's have a look at the first reason here. People against state flags say that the tricolor binds India together, and any move to allow states to have flags would reduce the standing of the national flag. Now this is quite an interesting argument, and it does hold some water, because if we have a look at the history of modern India, you will actually notice a lot of separatist movements in our country. There was the Khalistan movement in Punjab that eventually led to the killing of one of the most beloved prime ministers of India, Indira Gandhi. And then, of course, a lot of districts in India are affected by Maoists. Then there are also states in the northeast that have had issues. So there is absolutely no denying in the fact that in India we have had a lot of separatist movements. So the tricolor has been a symbol of our unification, and India being a very diverse country, being a country that has people of different races, different languages, different cultures, it's very important for them to recognize that they all live under the same flag. So obviously, once states have their own flag, then the importance of tricolor will reduce. There is absolutely no denying that. So this is a pretty rational argument over here. Of course, you can comment on this in the comment box below. I would like to know what you guys have to say about that. Another very good argument is allowing one state to have its own flag could trigger demands from other states too, and this could have a domino effect. As I told you, once Karnataka has its own official state flag, it's only a matter of time before Punjab starts demanding an official state flag, Maharashtra, perhaps even the yet to be born Gorkhaland, perhaps people might start demanding that as well. So we do not know how this will play out. We do not know whether the state flags will eventually be used by separatists as a tool to take forward their agenda. We do not know that. Only time will tell. But we need to ask ourselves a very simple question. Is the idea of having state flags worth the risk? Is it worth the risk in a young democracy like ours, where we have witnessed so many separatist movements? This is the million-dollar question. Now let's have a look at some of the arguments in favor of the decision of having state flags. One of the most widely used arguments in favor of this decision is states in both Germany and United States, both of them are highly developed countries, have their own flags without any danger of their imminent disintegration. Now again, this argument does not hold water. Why? First of all, we should not compare developed countries like USA and Germany with India, primarily because these two countries are not as diverse as India. Secondly, United States of America. Indeed, there are state flags in USA, as you can pretty much see. Every state in USA has its own flag. Texas has its own flag, and you can pretty much see the flag of California over here. It is proudly hoisted with the flag of United States of America. But we need to ask a very simple question. Is India as old a democracy as United States of America? Because United States as a democracy has been around for nearly 250 years, a little less than that, but somewhere around 250 years. India is relatively a very young democracy. It has been in existence for only 70 plus years. Although it is a very ancient civilization, it is still a very young country. And another problem with this argument is that in United States, they have very odd gun control laws that you guys probably have heard about many times in the news. So if we take those gun control laws and apply them to India, do you think we will be able to ensure safety to our citizens? So it is not necessary that what works for United States of America will eventually work for India as well, because as I said earlier, USA is an old democracy. They have not witnessed so many separatist movements in their history as India has. So I don't really think the comparison over here is good. I don't think it is feasible at all. Now we have some other arguments in favor of state flags. I will just read them and give counter arguments just so you get food for thought. So over here we have another argument that state flags don't undermine their tricolor. Again, the counter argument will be only time will tell. This is a very big statement and I don't really think that anyone really knows what the actual result will be. Secondly, India is a mature democracy. Sure, India is a mature democracy, but it is not mature enough to have state flags yet. Because as I told you earlier, countries that have state flags, they are much more mature than India is in terms of being a democracy. Then, in addition, they argue that considering all states have their own insignia and many states have their own anthems, would having a state flag make a big difference? Now, this is actually a very good argument. I would like to know what you guys have to say about that. Since a lot of states in India have their own anthems, will a state having a state flag make a big difference? It's a very good argument. And to find a counter argument here, it's a difficult job. Let's see how many of you actually try. Then there is another argument that some people give the example of the failures of not giving space to diversity, as Pakistan did with East Pakistan, which is modern day Bangladesh. Now, I think pretty much all of you know that Pakistan tried to impose Urdu language on the Bengali people of Bangladesh, which resulted in the formation of the Mukti Bahini, and later on Bangladesh eventually got independence. So we need to understand that there is absolutely no case like that in India. Karnataka has its own language, it has its own cinema, they produce their own movies, they are widely popular, they have their own literature, it's flourishing, and no other language is being imposed on Karnataka. So I don't really think this argument holds any water, or perhaps it does. I just want to know what you guys think about it. I would also like to add over here an important point, that the Constitution of India doesn't really have any provisions for having state flags in the country, because I think our forefathers never quite imagined that even states would demand state flags in the near future. So the constitution doesn't really have anything to say about this. So this is another argument that has been given by the Chief Minister of Karnataka, that since there is nothing said in the constitution against the existence of state flags, why not just have them? So this is another argument that you should probably know about. I have given you a lot of arguments, counter arguments in favor or against the idea of having state flags. Now it's up to you guys, and I hope that you guys will share this video, like it as well, and do mention in the comment box below if you want me to make another video on some other topic. Thank you for watching this particular video. God bless you all.